to the bed and start sleeping with her. That there's difference between sex and lovemaking.
Yes.
So the days where a man wants sex, he might not even need any preparation. Because sometimes as a woman too, there are days your body really needs sex, not lovemaking.
Pastor Gold Adeoye, it's nice seeing you in person. God bless you. I know we used
so
you
much, ma.
A while ago for our ministry for the married and single. Singles. I know you're always busy, but we're so privileged to see you and have you here and see you in person at last.
Thank you so much.
God bless you, Mommy Gold.
Amen.
Like they call you on Living Couple on Dove TV. You want to tell us a little about you, Mommy Gold?
Well, I want to thank God for my life. My name is Gold Adeoye. Okay, my name is Gold Ngozi Adeoye. Because a lot of persons didn't know that I'm married to
an Igbo man.
No. I'm Igbo.
You are the Igbo. Yes, so
my husband is Yoruba.
So what do you do?
I am a psychologist.
Oh, yes.
I do therapy. I do counseling. God made it, or God revealed to me the part of what I do now as a calling.
Yes.
I remember when I was in school, I was in dentistry. I wanted medicine.
Oh, wow.
So, and when I got to the medical school, both the dental students and the medical students are all in the medical school. So in the first few years, I was there in the medical school. And I was told you were going to move, if you're familiar with school things, I was told, okay, after 1 or 2 years, you were going to move to medicine proper.
Yes.
So I was in dental school, and the movement was not coming. It looks
medicine
as if,
can be very intense.
It looks as if I was stalked. So I was like, oh, you promised me this, I'm not getting it. So I just looked at myself, and I didn't know it was God. I just got tired. Meanwhile, all my life, I had always wanted to be this person that would talk to people, because I saw my mother do that. She wasn't that educated.
Yes.
But while we were growing up, I will always see people come around her. They would talk to her. She would answer. She would, say things. I don't know how she does it.
Counseling people.
She would just say these things.
She's a people's person.
I'm telling you, ma. She would just say these things, and they are good. And then they will come back and say, oh, thank you for what you said. And I would look at her like, where are you getting the things you say from? So I had always wanted to also do the same. So I didn't know God was watching that sincerity in me.
In you.
So before I knew it, to cut the long story short, I just decided I was going to go to psychology. I never knew that was going to even help me. I just saw psychology, okay, it's a study of human behavior and mental processing. I never knew it was really going to help me to be able to understand humans better. Or not until I got there. So I just want to thank God
help
for
them actually.
Yes,
when it comes to psychology.
Yes, ma. With moving to psychology, with the study of psychology now, it helped me understand people more, not just to sympathize with them, but to empathize. So I understand when people are telling me, oh, okay, I'm having this kind of issue in my marriage. I am not just looking at this person or trying to trace the person to the problem he or she has. I'm also able to empathize with this person
and see where they're coming from.
The way that person is reasoning at that particular time. So even when the person is saying, leave me, and everybody is angry and say, oh, leave him or leave her, something in me is telling me, don't worry, it will soon calm down.
Yeah.
Because I know the brain, there's a way the brain operates, okay? And then when the singles, when they are all coming and saying, oh, I want to marry, oh, I'm in love with this guy, and I'm saying, calm down. I also understand with my level of psychology that emotions are like winds.
They blow in and out.
Yes, they blow in and out.
And
so when the guy is hot, I'm just calm. I'm like, okay, I've heard you. Or when the girl comes and, oh, I met someone, and they're like, I'm saying, okay, don't worry.
And if only people can really, aside from the therapy and all that, if a spouse, a man is angry at that time, a woman, I hear that a lot, can calm down, that wind will blow
Yes,
over.
yes.
I see where you're coming
Yes,
from. Like,
yes.
all these emotions is just a wind.
Yes, it is.
It blows in
It
and out.
is.
So,
But if you don't have enough study, you could react based on that emotion.
and you need help.
You
Some
need
people
help.
can get over it
Yes,
immediately, and some people
yes.
need extra help. That's where people like you come in. What made you go into, like, I know you do psychology, but why did you move away from there? Linking
There's always this thing about God. He will always lure you. I remember when God wanted to call Moses. Moses did not know he was going into a trap. He only saw the burning bush and he said, let me look. For me, I only saw my mother do something and I was interested. I didn't know it was a calling for me. It was a ministry for me. It was a destiny for me. So I just felt, oh, let me make people happy. That was just what I felt literally.
Oh.
I never knew that was actually what God wanted for me.
Okay.
So I left secondary school, and this woman that I admired so much, she counsels people, she died. So at that point, I also got discouraged a bit because she gave herself to God and all of that. And it looks as if, so when I finished school and I was really tracing my step in destiny,
Yes.
the Holy Spirit had to come back to me and said, okay, you're going to pick up from where this woman stopped. And that was why I directed your step from dentistry, from the medical school, to a place where you could learn more about the human's emotion.
Yes.
And then you could be able to, you are more equipped.
Yes.
So now sometimes I am not just speaking to people, not only scripturally, because I know, of course, the scripture has answers for everything.
Yes.
But there is a part of me that is also equipped. There is a capacity I have with that human emotional thing that even when I am speaking the word, it helps me speak it better. There is this knowledge, that was why Paul was writing in one of his letters. He said, add to your faith knowledge, to your knowledge, godliness and all that. So there is your faith, but your faith needs to be accompanied with knowledge. If your faith is not accompanied with knowledge, it could be messed up. So what actually drove me is calling, ministry, destiny, not even passion. I actually started as a passion. I just wanted this.
Well, it's a gift, it's a calling.
So along the way, I knew, no, it's not just a passion, it's a destiny, it's a calling, it's a ministry for me.
We have here, what are the things about marriage you wish you would have known?
To be sincere, I wouldn't really say there was anything majorly that came to me like a big strike. I would only say there were things that came and I never knew it was going to be this big. I think that would be better, because I'm trying to remember, and sincerely, if I remember, I will tell you. But for now, I'm saying it sincerely that I won't really say there was anything that came to me as a shock. I could only say I never knew it was going to happen this way.
This way, okay.
So I could say that now.
All right.
Let me say the area of intertribal marriage. Like I told you initially, I'm Igbo. My husband is Yoruba. So the first shock I had after doing my homework, I was born in the Yoruba land. So I wasn't too surprised with the fact that an average Yoruba person would want you to go on your knees to greet. They would want you to, they would
like
want
not your husband,
but the family members and all that.
Because I'm like,
so this person has been around my mother-in-law for some time, and you could just call her like a family member.
Okay.
And here am I, heavily pregnant, I think maybe 7 months or 6 months. And then we went visiting. And then she came back, and later I heard she complained that I didn't go on my knees to greet her.
Yes.
So it came as a shock. Like, I was like, oh, no, I don't get you. And this is a me that if I am 4 months, you would think I am 6.
Yes.
I am always 3 times my size.
Oh yes, I carry like that as
my
well.
My nose are funny.
Yeah.
So imagine
so
at
you're
7.
Already tired.
In fact,
Somebody's
at 7
saying,
months,
kneel down.
Everybody's already greeting me. Asokale ayo.
When is the baby?
I mean, they're already saying.
When is the baby due?
When is the baby? I mean, like tomorrow. I'm really down, And here you are. You want me to go on my knees too and greet you. So that one came to me like a double shock.
Somebody said to me, we were having this conversation in America, and the girl said to me, she said, "Oh my God, I've been married for so long. And I've never seen my, I think herself and her husband, maybe they had a misunderstanding early, you know, the early stages of marriage. And she said to me that, oh my God, something that came as a shock to her was she never knew that herself and her husband would argue.
Okay, I was about going to
and
the
I
second.
would, yeah,
second
and I
job.
would say that, because, she was like, my parents never fought. That's what they told her, that they never fought, they never had any misunderstanding or argue. Growing up, that she never saw that. But when she got married, when that started happening, they're still lovely couple. They're married today. They're still married, And she said, but when she told her mom, mommy, myself and my husband, we have this misunderstanding. We argue every now and then. And the mom said it's normal. And she was like, what? That was a shock to her in the marriage. That, mommy, but I never saw you. And you used to say, oh, daddy and mommy never argues and fight. And I said to her, I said, that's the mistake our parents made. And I hope this generation, we're not making that mistake, because we're not making that mistake because we need to let them know that, yes, daddy and mommy doesn't fight in front of you or argue in front of you. It's bound to happen to argue. We have to be real with our children, especially when they're getting older, having that spouse, you see like, oh yes, I'm getting ready to get married. You have to be real with them and let them know some very deep stuff.
There will be a time your partner is going to come up with a character you never knew existed. So that's another shocker, and that happens in every relationship. So there will be, no matter how loving, no matter how godly, no matter how beautiful the marriage is, there's going to be a point where you are going to experience like a behavioral shock. It's going to be, your spouse is going to do something that you're going to be like, oh, guy, you just did this. And then the man too is going to look at you and say, babe, you just did this. So that's another thing. Thing. And then lastly, I would also say that there will be a time where people are going to interfere with your space. So that's another thing I wish probably had known.
With your experience in marriage, what advice would you give to those who are just starting their journey?
God. See, I have come in my years of counseling, I have come to discover that this is a bitter truth, but I have come to discover that marriage is first 80% spiritual and just 20% physical. So I have counseled people that I have tried to use my words. I have tried to use my wealth of knowledge, even as a counselor. I have tried to use all my years of study, and nothing worked until I prayed. So now somebody will now say, oh, what about somebody who don't believe in God? Well, I am telling you emphatically what had worked for me over 2 decades. So for people who are just starting, I would like to encourage you, please don't joke with God. Don't joke with God. Then number 2, please be ready to adapt. Because we all get married and then we begin to expect that, oh, we're going to see this, we're going to see this. And when we don't see those things, we quickly give up. The devil begins to tell you, oh, this man promised you he was going to give you this, you're not getting it. Or this woman promised you were going to get this, you're not getting it. Or these are the things you have. All these castles will be viewed in the air. So I would like to say that be ready to adjust. So if you're getting married, get ready to adjust. Yours might be family, it could be home, it could be children. Please get ready to adjust.
How should couples handle hard financial times?
I would like to start by saying that things don't just happen suddenly. No, they take process. So before you see a couple get to a place where they are down financially, it's not a day. It didn't happen. They didn't just wake up and it's down. It must have been coming down. Maybe they had £100 or $100. It must have moved down to probably 90, and then it moved to 80, and it will start coming down. So I would like to advise couples that do not wait until it's 20 before you start crying out. So if you used to have like $100, and that's probably your everything, and now you could see that, oh, because of the recession and everything, our savings has dropped to 90. Our savings is dropping to 80. Do not wait until it drops to $20 before you start talking about it. Whatever made your savings that has been $100 before, made it drop to 90, made it drop to 80 and probably 70, already calls for your attention.
We've heard of stories,
Okay,
where the husband will lose his job,
okay,
and it's possible for a whole year there's no job.
okay,
It happens.
okay.
You're running out the credit cards. You're running out all the savings.
That's what I'm saying. I'm about to answer your question, but no. See,
especially in
there
America,
is no way you would be working that you don't have savings. That's why I started with something as low as £100 or $100. You can't tell me you don't have $100.
Okay.
You can't say that. If you say that, it means we are not just going to address the issue of financial challenges. We're going to now teach you discipline. So probably this question might not be for you. But for people who already have like a steady income and they had a little savings, what I'm saying is the starting point to financial freedom is don't wait until it gets down. Immediately this man loses his job, the very first month, there was a particular thing that was supposed to come in and he didn't come in. Then both of you now need to sit down and talk. So that's the first thing, communication. Number two, come in terms with the reality. You were earning probably $1,005 a month before, and all of a sudden the man has lost the job, and the only thing, these are just examples, then the woman is only earning $500.
She doesn't even work.
She doesn't even work at all. Now, what you're going to do? So that means if she doesn't work,
she takes care of the kids.
Good. So that means if she doesn't work, like I said, your savings is what you have been spending from the first month. So this is a time for you people to now say, okay, so that this savings doesn't finish, what are we going to do? It will not be okay. It will be a monumental error for you don't have a job and you are still spending the way you are spending when you had a job.
You had a job.
So that is where I'm going to.
Yeah.
So both of you have to come to a place where we're going to see that if we had been eating 4 chicken in this house before,
let's cut down
to 2.
Yeah, that's it.
If we had been,
that's it.
If the lightings had been on for 24 hours a day, let's reduce it to a particular.
10, yeah.
So these are the things you need to talk about it. So the first thing is, number one, do not wait until the challenges tears you at the face. Immediately it happens. In fact, right from the time the man has lost his job, he should start cutting down on cost.
Yes.
Because
I totally agree.
So at that point, then number two, communication, because there's going to be a point of agreement. It's not when the man is trying to manage, the woman is saying no, or the woman is trying to manage, the man is saying, oh, you used to give me 3 pieces of chicken. Now, why are you giving me 1? You don't have a job anymore. You don't expect to eat.
Dear. 3 pieces of meat.
So there should be this communication, and this communication should be done in understanding. That's okay, this is just for a time.
Understanding and love. Communication.
Okay, so the woman shouldn't come and say, oh boy, you just lost your job. No food for you again. No. She should do it with, sweetheart, this is the reality we find ourselves now. So how are we going to do this? Or if it's the man coming, babe, I may not be able to buy you the expensive perfume I used to buy you. Please, just for the time.
And don't say it. No more nannies.
So don't say it as if you guys are not going to come out. It is when you say it that the woman,
no hope.
That's my gender. Gets scared, and she wants to revert. But just say it calmly, like, oh, it's just for a time. Maybe 1 month, 2, and it will be fine.
Praise God. How should couples keep their sex lives or intimacy lives pure? What things should they avoid?
Okay.
In the bedroom.
That sex doesn't just happen. It's not with romance. So you don't just carry a woman and bring her to the bed and start sleeping with her. There are stages that are fundamentals. There are prerequisites. There are things you must do. And then for me, as a psychologist, I know that if you want to really get good sex from a woman, you prepare her at least 3 hours or 4 hours before that time. Number one, by making her feel good. No, I'm just saying. Now, you must also know that there's difference between sex and lovemaking.
Yes.
So the days where a man wants sex, he might not even need any preparation. Because sometimes as a woman too, there are days your body really needs sex, not lovemaking. The lovemaking is usually enjoyed by the woman. And it's this part where a woman just wants the man to start by probably touching her, telling her sweet words, caressing her and all of that. But you see, the way a man is also wired, a man is wired to have sex. Like, he sees what he wants it immediately, whether in the kitchen, in the bathroom, in the car, he wants it, he has an erection, and he just wants to have sex. So
they're wired
like that. But in marriage, knowledge will now teach you that you need to balance both. So because you are married to a woman, you need to learn how to make her come up, how to turn her on. Another thing you should also know is that while you are trying to turn her on, you are also prolonging the number of time you will enjoy sex or lovemaking. Now, psychology have taught us that when a man is trying to caress his wife or kiss the wife, what he doesn't know he's doing to himself is to build capacity and retention to make the penis harder. Compared to the time where he just has an erection and he enters and comes out. Because sometimes a man has erection and he feels the next thing is to go in. You will have that sex, but you will not have lasted as much as if you were a bit more patient, caressing your wife. But the Bible says in the book of Genesis chapter 2 verse 25, they were both naked, the man and his wife, and they were not ashamed. And then Genesis chapter 4 verse 1 says, and Adam knew his wife and he begot Cain. So that means that he knew his wife. He knew his wife in Genesis chapter 4. That knowing that brought about Cain was sexual intimacy. It's a form of knowledge. It's a knowing. It's a knowledge that comes with it. So some can mismanage it and some can undermanage it. So back to what we're saying. What we're saying is a lot of men feel I have erection and the next thing is to have sex. It's good. You can do that maybe once in a while. But I put it to you, both professionally, biblically, emotionally, if you really want to enjoy sex, know your wife. And how do you know your wife? Number one, prepare her. Bring her to the bed. Research have shown that the more response your wife gives, the more enjoyment you get on bed. Number two, research has also shown that the more you caress this woman, the more you are pumping more blood vessel to your genitals. So the harder it becomes, and that will sustain how longer you can last on bed. So some men complain. Some men are even tired. They feel, oh, I don't even want to have sex with my wife. I just go in and go out. And some men now discover that when they go to meet another kind of woman, they last longer. Not knowing that they are not doing to their wife.
They don't know their wife.
No. They are not doing to their wife what they are doing to that other girl. So they meet probably a side chick in quote. And then before they go in, the woman, the side chick is saying, leave me. And that process, they are touching and they say, oh, please now allow me. You see, that time you are craving for it. What you're doing to your brain is that you're telling your brain, I want to have sex. So the part of the brain is pumping blood to your genitals, getting it ready for action. So eventually when the woman allows you, you stay longer. But when it comes to your wife, you have believed she's your property. You have believed she's there.
And it shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be. So you just believe, oh, erection. All right, come, let me sleep with you. And then you discover that 30 seconds or whatever minutes you're done. But when it comes to another particular person, because you put your mind in it, you last longer. So these are the mistakes a lot of men make.
How can that woman, you just don't want to lie down and swallow. That's the way I see. Like, lie down. You must, the same way you expect a man. It
is still lack of proper orientation that make women believe that once they come to bed, they need to lie down. I don't know where they read that from. And I don't know who told them that. And to be honest with you, like some people actually grew up with that mentality.
Yes.
I am not supposed to talk. In fact, I have a culture part of Nigeria that tells you when you bring any spice to your marriage, you are a prostitute. So they grew up with that mentality that no woman should even, in fact, the woman is not supposed to even feel holy. She should just suppress it. Or, she should not even tell her husband.
A woman is not allowed to
demand for sex.
No, to demand for sex. I hear that, or even come like
get wet or something.
Get wet or just even,
these are normal physiological process. There's nothing you can do about it. They are normal physiological process. If a man touches you the right way, you get wet. They are normal. Look, these are things that God puts there naturally to enjoy. Do not bring your culture or what God put it there. It wasn't your grandfather that put it there. No, seriously. Look. Let me tell. I mean, when I'm talking about, it wasn't your village people that put it there. God
or your pastor.
It is God who allows you get wet. It's a physiological process.
Like the woman.
So don't get shy of what God put in your body.
To demand.
See, we have not gotten to perversion. I know there are sexual perversion, and that's what I'm talking. Not what I'm talking about.
I'm not talking about
people mistake normal sexual process with sexual perversion.
Yes.
A woman should feel good when she comes to the bedroom. She should understand that God has made her and given her this thing to enjoy. So there's nothing like being shy. Another challenge I see, that mistake I see people have, is not talking. People come into the bedroom, aside from lying down, they don't talk. Look,
Just straight to
your
the
man
point.
wants to hear you. See, there's this
You mean joint sex?
yes, during sex, your man wants to hear you. He might not be saying it, but you will enjoy sex better when you're sleeping with your man and you're talking to him. And what are the words you're supposed to talk to him? Thank you. Better. Harder. See, what you're doing to the brain of that man is to tell him he's doing a good job. Men are getters. Men likes applaud. Men are wired to do things and you say, oh, thank you. So even when he's making love to you and you're saying thank you are only encouraging him to do more. Compared to he's sleeping with you and you're not fucking.
Okay.
And then I've heard people say, after sex, am I the one that's supposed to say thank you to the man or the man that's supposed to say thank you to me? Well, if you ask me, I will say mutual. But let me tell you, before the man talks, look into his eyes and say, thank you, this was good. I promise you, the man is coming back next time with his best.
All right. Okay.
So we just talked about the woman aspect. Okay. It doesn't mean that you're done sleeping with your wife too. You don't look at her and say, babe, I enjoyed you differently today. It was nice. I'm not saying that. But I'm also saying that it is not out of place for you to once in a while. Because to be honest with you, if a man really, really, really enjoys sex, he's done his sleeping. But you see a woman complaining, oh, you're done, you're sleeping on me. You don't know that was a sign that he enjoyed you. So you need this understanding. And this has led to so many quarrels. He just finished with me. Hey, Pastor God, you didn't know. This man just finished and he started sleeping. And then when they say to me, I say, congratulations. And they are worried. Why are you congratulating me? You just satisfied your man. Because there is a part of the brain that releases on the hormone that calm him down to show that, oh, that was good. So the man, allow him to sleep. Allow him. That's a good one.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you. Thank you. So I'm going to still go back to that question. What are the no-nos? You know, some people like...
Number one, the no-no is this, for me, when it comes to the extreme, is let's start with the sex toy. One of the things one of the things people don't know about sex toys is that it is not fashioned or it can never be wired with the way the body is wired. You are blood, you are water, you are human. This is not human.
Yes.
This thing also, number two, number one, the no-no parts for me when it comes to the extreme is let's start with the sex toy. One of the things one of the things people don't know about sex toys is that it is not fashioned or it can never be wired with the way the body is wired. You are blood, you are water, you are human. This is not human.
Yes.
This thing also, number two, operates on frequency. Your own husband operates on probably mood, blood flow, and all that. Now, you see this thing, once it's plugged to electricity, the rate at which it's called a vibrator. The rate at which it will vibrate depends on the capacity of the electricity it is plugged into. So if you have, like, for example, you know we have generator, we have 15 kV, I don't know how they call this, but we have 15 kJV or whatever kJV. Some are 20 capacity, some are 200. The same way too, the light supply. This vibrator will vibrate to the degree of the electricity at which it is connected to. I don't know whether you're getting me. So if the source is high, or if the current at that time is high, it will vibrate better. And then you insert this thing into yourself. So it vibrates at a point where, they tell you it has made them wild. Like it has damaged, it has wounded a part of their brain that nothing can satisfy them at all. Number three, you know what it will do? It will not expose you, it will damage you. It will make you start having behavioral deficiency. You will just sit down and something from your genital will be flushing down your brain, like you will become unstable. Haven't you seen some women, you sit with them and they're trying to do like this? There's an urge coming.
Like they just want
see
sex
people
all the time.
You don't want to see people who have been bastardized.
And
so
it can
please
be so addictive.
Don't go there. Because the artery effect is very bad. They are shaking like this. You pity them. You pity. And they are regretting, if I'd known, I wouldn't have said this. They just told me I should use it, I'll be fine. No. Don't go that route.
Oral sex. You kissing everywhere, all over, private, everywhere. What's wrong with that? Or too much? Is there too much kissing? Too much hugging? Too much touching? You know, some people, they don't even believe. What I hear is they don't believe that even the boobs is for their husband, is only for their children. So I don't know. So can we just
so that's why I said, let me start from saying Genesis chapter 2 verse 25. They were both naked and they are not ashamed.
Once again.
So both of you shouldn't be ashamed of your body parts.
Yes.
So every part of your body can be enjoyed. But listen, if you can remember very well, right from when we were growing up, research have shown that human needs are insatiable. You want this, and then that need is met, you want another one. And that's the same thing applies to this issue of oral sex. The danger with oral sex is you will never get satisfied. Prove me wrong. I've been counseling for over 2 decades. I have counselees, I have people who were counseling now, who are going through therapy sections because they dabbled into what they shouldn't have dabbled into. And because of their privacy, we wouldn't go more than that. But the result has always been, I started this because I wanted this. And now I am shattered. Now, somebody will now ask, what is the solution with my craving? Sexual issues. They think they need oral sex. No. I've seen people that says, if my wife doesn't suck me, I don't get hard. Now, what you are having, normally the penis is created, designed to rise on its own even without touch. That's why you see a man wake up in the morning and the thing is standing on his own.
So even little children.
So you are having a problem. Don't add another problem. I would advise that if it's not rising, instead of complicating the problem you have by telling your wife to suck it, address that problem. It's a problem. Because if you continue to solve a problem with another problem, you will just continue in that pattern. And you wouldn't even like where it will end at the end of the day. Because I'm telling you now, there are people who now are demanding that the penis should be put under the armpit. That one is a new one coming in.
Craziness.
They're
sick people.
They feel every part of the body where it's warm. The armpit is warm. Okay? Then put it there. It has hair. Just roll. Just allow me to roll. So these are perversions. You know, we started with the mouth, anus.
But I would say those are the extreme. Because I'm just being real.
Even when the mouth started, it was an extreme. It was gradual. It became a little bit acceptable. Because so many people that were supposed to talk about it didn't talk about it. Or because people were silent on it. Now the armpit on it looks as if
it's going.
So I would rather say, please, when you have a problem, solve it rather than using another problem to solve another problem. Look, the way God designed the human brain is that you can explore. But that exploration explore. Doesn't talk about, look, you are going the extreme. Exploration, touching, and...
But who says, how did you know that is extreme? I'm just being real. I'm asking what people ask me.
It's extreme because...
How do we know it's not? There's nothing like that in the Bible.
Thank you. It's extreme because this is called the digestive system. This is called the reproductive system. There is an entry, there is an exit. Okay? Like the anal sex is an exit. It's not designed for an entry. That's how I know. Number two, your legs are for walking. Why don't you put your penis under? So why don't you come and ask me, who says I can't put my penis under?
That is not a sin.
I mean, so why is it that because you are enjoying it, you put it in the mouth and you're enjoying it, that's why you're justifying it? Oh yeah, now let's argue. You put it under the leg, or you put it under your bum and sit on it and see what will happen to you.
Always catch us on Revert Television. Subscribe, join, like, share, leave your comments, and we'll always love to hear from you. Revert Television on YouTube. God bless you.
Amen.
All right, Mommy Adeoye, how can couples avoid arguing and quarreling, fighting while their kids are there? How can they avoid it?
So to avoid it is to first give both parents a proper understanding of what marriage is. That will help them to avoid quarreling. Number one, marriage is mentorship. So when you understand that marriage is mentorship, you then realize that if we argue in presence of our children, we are only telling them, or we are only giving them a picture of the way we also want them to live. So to tell you how to stop that is to quickly tell you that whatever you do will be what your children will come out to become. So
Children
that's a
live
way
what
of telling
children
you.
live what
So
they
that's a
learn.
way of telling you it's not good. So if you don't want your kids to grow up in the future and start fighting or quarreling or
In school.
arguing, please don't argue
On
in their
social
presence.
media.
Okay. Number two is to how to also stop is to understand that you are the first leader your children know. Before they see their teacher, they see you.
Oh, yeah.
So if you really want these children to be good leaders, please don't argue in their presence. Let them know that things. Don't you know that there are people in the office? You have a colleague in the office that even when both of you are having a peaceful conversation, she doesn't calm down until she shouts. Go and find out about her background.
And argue over everything.
And then by the time she's done, she will not come back to say she's sorry. It's not as if she doesn't want to stop that behavior, but that's what she grew up with. So her family has tampered with her growing up, with her behavior that she's wounded in that area.
That's all she
so
knew.
you as a
Her mom
parent,
fighting and
thank you, ma'am.
upset all the
So
time.
you as a parent, if you don't want to raise your next generation being like that, raising a next generation that is helpless. I've seen a woman who breaks TV. And then we tried everything on her, only to trace it back that her mom, when she gets angry, she will go and carry everything. She will open the fridge. In those days where they used to put cold water inside bottle, she'll bring out everything. She's not going to eat it on the husband, though. She'll just eat it on the floor. She will break it.
And what I also heard.
So now this daughter is breaking TV.
Yeah, they go, and what, like you were saying, what I realize is when you teach them this way, you're on number 5 with your craziness. When that child wants to take it on board, she moves to.
In fact, they will start the experiment with you.
Exactly.
Because there will be a time in their life where you're talking to them, they will not know how to talk to you than to shout.
Yes, and also they move. You are on level
6. They will take it to 10 or 15.
Number 5, crazy.
Yeah.
Then when they want to start in their own homes, they are number 10, crazy. Then you can imagine the grandchildren, and it goes on like that.
So the best way we're telling you to stop is to show you the dangers that are involved.
What's your take on counseling? Like for me, in my marriage, I don't need to have problems.
Okay.
We likes of you. We just search for. We have people that we talk to every month. For example, we just love. Some of us, like my husband and some couple, we come together. We just talk about marriage.
That's a process of counseling.
Yeah.
A couple came and they both told me, we don't have a problem.
Yes.
We just want to talk.
Yes.
In fact, I was really happy. In
Yeah.
fact, I was so like, wow. And then by the time they started talking, it was even the husband that was now the person that was. She now said, okay, let's start with you. What are the things I'm doing you don't like? They never came because they had a problem. They just wanted to hear each other.
Yes.
And that the wife now started saying, oh, okay, do you remember last month you did this? I don't like. And that now started giving them a revelation of themselves. So by the time they were done, I only came in to have my own professional advice. I said, okay, to handle this better next time, do it this way. So you do not need to wait until
you have a problem.
And then some people feel, oh, I've been married for 20 years, I've been married for 13 years. Marriage counselor that I did not visit in my first 2 years of marriage. Is it the marriage counselor I will not be visiting now that I'm 15?
Never too late.
It's never too late, okay?
Praise God.
Sometimes it's just an avenue for both of you to talk. You just
And
need
to
somebody to be there to, monitor or listen to when both of you talk. When 2 people are arguing, you don't listen to each other anymore.
Yes.
You lose that ability to listen to each other. You are just shouting. So marriage counseling gives you the ability for you to be able to calm down and allow your spouse to hear you. Okay, so the person is there. The person might not even talk. Sometimes I don't even talk in my counseling session. I allow both of them to talk.
Yes.
Because I understand that behavior needs to be expressed. So I don't believe in people piling up emotions.
Yes.
So there are times that you just allow people to expel their emotions.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, ma, for having me.
Pastor Mrs. Adeoye, we really appreciate you. We can't wait to bring you on the next time.
Yes, ma'am.
We are so grateful. I hope you guys had fun. More to come by the special grace of God. I've been meaning to do this forever, but here we are. So bit by bit, stay tuned. Like I said, join Revert Television, subscribe, press like, leave your comment, share, and see other things we do as well. God bless you.